Alrighty, welcome everyone to the R1P NFL 2022 mock draft. I am your host Leverett KT, and with me we got the one and only, the senior analyst for R1P website, Jalen Wilson. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. Man, just so good to be talking about the draft. I've been on this draft thing for a while now. So, but how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. I'm excited for this draft. Just so everyone who's in here, they know we will be doing the 2022 NFL draft live here. I think last year, Jalen, how many picks would you say we announced before they announced the picks? It was at least about 8 or 10. It was a handful of picks.
Yeah, I was about to say 10.
Yeah, it was like a handful of picks that we was able to announce before the NFL actually announced. Jalen, what are you most excited for about this draft?
How the Patriots actually getting their pick, because usually they trade down, which I'm still scared they trade down. Uh, but I mean, other than that, most exciting thing is probably the trade during the draft, because some players might get traded during the draft, some picks might get traded. You'll be looking at some teams like, oh, why'd y'all make that trade during the draft? Some teams gonna look to move up. So and all thing like the team that like it's like that's probably like the most exciting thing is like the draft day trades for me. Probably because like the Bears last year, like they moved up because they were like, oh, Justin Fields is still right there. We gonna jump up and we gonna try to go get him.
Right.
So yeah, didn't the Cowboys trade up too last year and they selected
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, they traded up as well. You're 100% correct. Yeah, so like looking back, like 2021 in retrospect, how do you feel about we always talk about who's going to be the bust, like it's in, we're trying to predict who's going to be the bust in a draft. But in retrospect, how do you feel about like the first round specifically? What teams do you feel like made the pick that they needed to make for the future, and what teams do you feel like kind of could have done a better job with their picks?
Well, I'm gonna start with could have did a better job with the picks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Alex Leatherwood went first round from Alabama, and he was terrible. Not Alabama fans. Las Vegas Raider fans do not like Leatherwood. He had a bad rookie season. Got a whole bunch of flags early on in the season. In the first couple weeks, he was bad at blocking. He just had a bad season overall, and it just looked like a bad pick, especially because I believe it was such a crazy draft choice because I believe the other tackles and guards there. It's like, well, why choose Leatherwood when there's other offensive linemen there? And especially when he's mostly great as like a second round offensive lineman, it's like, why choose him? But a team I felt made the necessary choices were probably the Broncos. They got Kyle Fuller in free agency, but they're losing him after 1 year. But they picked up Patrick Surtain. And also, I feel like the Cowboys struck gold. I mean, they got Micah Parsons. He was literally in Defensive Player of the Year conversations last year as a rookie. I believe, didn't he win Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, he did. Hands down. Arguably could have been in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. That's how well he played.
Yeah. So, I mean, they struck gold with their draft pick. And I believe they said they plan on moving him more to the edge this offseason or this upcoming season. So that will actually be interesting. But I believe they struck gold with Micah Parsons.
So what player, as we wrap up last year's draft, do you feel like it's going to make a huge jump in year two? I'll let you go and then I'll go.
Last year's draft, year two. I want to say Amara, but he had a good in the ending season. I feel like it's going to be Terrence Marshall. He didn't really play so well in the season. Actually played bad. Especially for people that were like he isn't better than Jamar Chase, but he was still one of the best wide receivers on that corridor at LSU. But I feel like he's gonna make a little bit of a jump. Probably, I believe he ended the season around like 400 yards. He wasn't that good, but I think during the second year he to jump to like 800 yards. He improves his yards after catch, um, and his touchdowns. Because I mean, I just think that 2 years into the Panthers offense, it just helps him. Two years into the NFL just helps him. Um, so I mean, I'm still. I wouldn't say I'm. I mean, I wouldn't say I was like super high on him coming into the draft, but I was still thinking he could be a good player, and he wasn't that his first year, but I think he could still be that his second year.
Gotcha. I think that Trevor Lawrence makes a much bigger leap in year two. I think Jacksonville has put themselves in a position not only to win now, but they also going to win later. And that was a lot of times the Buffalo Bills approach when Brandon Beane and McDermott came in. They wanted to win now and win later. They got some of the pieces in the offseason. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to make a big jump in his sophomore season, and we're going to kind of see, some of the statistics he put up in college. Well, Jalen, seems like we got a few people in here. Shout out to Top Flight Thursday. Shout out to LL Cool Brad of Just Cool Productions. If you're in here, make sure you go check out his page, subscribe. He does a lot of great things there. So this is how this mock draft is going to work. I am going to take the odd numbers. Jalen's going to take the even numbers. And I'm going to give Jalen one challenge flag because he's the guru in this situation. If he absolutely can't stand a pick that I make, he can throw his challenge flag and he can make the pick for me. So without further ado, we're about to get this draft started. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are now, if I can find my source, are now on the clock. So, Jalen, Jacksonville. Do you feel like they are in a best player available type of mode, or do they need a specific position that and then we have to get it right on?
I think they need a specific position, but I don't know if they take that position. Because to me, in the offensive line, but with Cam Robinson coming back for another year because they franchise tagged him, they might not need a tackle. They probably need a guard. But do you really want to take a player that can be a guard right now? So I believe they might just be in a best player available.
Gotcha. So we're going to get the pickers in music because I'm running out of time. And with the first pick of the NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to draft Kayvon Thibodeaux. Boom. The Detroit Lions are now on the clock. Jalen, how you feel about that pick?
I like Kayvon. I know there's been questions about his character and his consistency, but I'm gonna say this: I watched him at Oregon. He was pretty consistent to me. Mm-hmm. His character thing, like I get character is always like a concern for some players, but at the same time, it's like you're not gonna get the same player. Just everybody. He isn't gonna be the same player as everybody. He isn't gonna be a Tom Brady type player. He's not gonna be he's not gonna be a Cam Newton type player. He isn't gonna be this low demeanor guy. But everybody just can't be the same. Some players are gonna have a character where it's like, if I come off a little bit cocky, it just is what it is. It's my character. Sorry.
Gotcha, Jalen. You got about Whoa. Okay. I don't know what happened. But it still said the Jags on the clock. So actually, the Lions haven't gotten on the clock yet. Give me some time.
But did you choose Kayvon?
Yeah. Kayvon was the first pick. Yeah, we gave him the ESPN music. But now it's saying the Jaguars are on the clock again, and the Jaguars are not on the clock. I'm not sure why it's saying that. But yeah, the Detroit Lions are on the clock. Not sure if I have the wrong thing loaded. Give me a second.
Well, while he's taking a second, chat, how do y'all feel about the Kayvon pick? I mean, it's been, skeptical of, people question his character. I don't think his character is anything wrong. People going to use Antonio Brown as an example, but everybody's not Antonio Brown.
Alrighty, I think I may have it. So with the Detroit Lions, what are you thinking?
I was thinking I'm thinking this team is gonna have a better season next season, and they're not gonna be in a running for this position going into next draft.
Mm-hmm.
So with the second pick, I'm choosing Malik Willis.
Wow, the pick is in, and Jalen goes with a boom or bust. Jalen, did you just say Malik Willis with the number two
Yes.
pick in the draft?
Yes.
That is crazy. I gotta see where they had him at on here. I don't think
Oh,
PFF
he wasn't that high if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
He might
they
be
had
in
him
like
at
the
25th,
30s.
so
Okay.
boom. With the second pick, Jalen goes with Malik Willis. Why Malik Willis here? Do you feel like they're in that dire of a need of a quarterback?
I mean, I'm not one to believe in Jared Goff. I watched plenty of his Detroit Lions games to notice that. I mean, of course, he wasn't the guy when they traded for him, but you probably don't want him going in year two as a guy either. And as I said, when I was making the pick, they're not going to be in this position probably next year to draft a quarterback, in my opinion. So I have them drafting the probably, I ain't gonna say the most ready quarterback, but the most potential quarterback in the draft.
Okay, so do you feel like, I know you said he's being drafted based on potential. Do you feel like he could be a year one starter?
I mean, I think he could be a year one starter. Can he be like the top tier, like the S tier year one starter? I don't know. He might be in like a B tier year one starter where it's ups and downs, but you can see the good. You can overtake the good with the bad.
Gotcha. Alrighty, I like that pick. So the Lions pick is in. I'm gonna go ahead and get a head start on Houston. So Houston, PFF has it that Houston needs every position. I think that's quite hilarious. And the only good thing about when you need every position, it pretty much comes down to BPA. But who I think would be the best fit for the Texans. I know some people, I know on your draft board you had Charles Cross above Akem Ikwanu. But I think Ikwanu fits what the Houston Texans are trying to do a little bit better. So, with the third pick in the NFL draft, cue the music. The Houston Texans are taking Akem Ikwanu from NC State. Jalen, instant reaction to that. How do you feel about that?
I love that pick. Laramie Tunsil isn't going to be there forever, and from Texas fans' perspective, they say he's regressing. So you take another tackle that he probably has a higher potential than to be what Laramie Tunsil was, but even better. And I mean, the offensive line still needs help. Even with Laramie Tunsil there. So you get Icon, and I mean you get Davis Mills, because Davis Mills had a good season last year. Loki had the best season of probably all the rookie quarterbacks last year. So it's like,
wow,
you
that's
probably just want to give Davis Mills one more year. You want to give him as much protection as needed.
Wow, I think that's a fantastic take. So moving right along, the New York Jets are on the clock. Their position of needs are wide receiver, linebacker, and cornerback. I feel like they have some pieces, but they really need a lot, especially on the outside. So the New York Jets, like, what is your thought process here?
My thought process was, is there really a linebacker worth taking? Top 5. Is there really a wide receiver worth taking? Top 5.
Top 5. That's a tough decision, man.
Is there really a cornerback worth taking top 5? And I was thinking
a cornerback. I like Sauce, but you know what I'm saying. That depends on your belief on know. Do you like Stingley better? Do you like Trent McDuffie better? Do you like Sauce Gardner better? It's really systems and it's really schemes. So what is your thought process here?
My thought process was, well, they have the number 10th pick, so they have 2 picks.
Yep.
I was thinking they can get they chose Zach Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he plays guard, and I believe this year they go double offensive line. Well, they double that with Charles Cross.
And to get him at 4, that's an amazing pickup. Did you expect Charles Cross to still be here at 4? If the Texans did go lineman, do you think they would you have went Charles Cross over Ekwonu?
I mean, as far as like ready to play now, I think I would have went Cross over Ekwonu, but as in future, I think I go Ekwonu over Cross. But to me, it's like no problem.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna summarize the first 4 picks so far. Number 1 pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Kayvon Thibodeau. At number 2, Jalen had Malik Willis after his pro day. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he went top 5 at all. Number 3, we took Ekwonu from NC State, and at number 4, Jalen took Charles Cross for the New York Jets. The Giants, what type of position do you feel like the Giants are in? Because they got a new regime. Was showing as the general manager, and they got I don't know, they got Brian DeBall as the head coach, the former Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator. So of course Daniel Jones is not who they drafted. That's not who their quarterback. He may be the quarterback of now, but that's not their quarterback. They actually was interested in Mitchell Trubisky in the draft, but Trubisky kind of wanted to choose a safer spot in Pittsburgh. So how do you feel about the New York Giants going offensive line? Would that be cliche?
I don't think that'd be cliche. I mean, the offensive line still isn't that good. I mean, Saquon has nightmares about defensive linemen because of the offensive line. But right. It's like I wouldn't mind offensive linemen.
Okay.
So I mean, I wouldn't mind the pick at offensive line.
Alrighty, so the pick is in, and for the New York Giants, I'm gonna select Evan Neal, tackle from Alabama. I believe, like Jalen said, they can get some more help on that offensive line, protect Daniel Jones, and hopefully open some more holes for Saquon Barkley. The Panthers are now on the clock.
Well, the Panthers,
they're mad at you for taking Malik Willis at 2. They are in love with Malik Willis. You think about how close Carolina is to Liberty. Liberty is in Virginia. I'm sure they've seen a whole bunch of his games. There's been some type of love connection with Malik Willis and the Carolina Panthers. So who do you feel like now that a quarterback is their quarterback in many people's minds is gone? Who do you feel like the Panthers, what is their thought process here?
I think they go best player available and they select Aiden Hutchinson.
And they select, I like that pick. Tell me why.
Well, their defense, it already has potential to be really good. Mm-hmm. But I just think selecting Aiden Hutchinson and adding more rushers, mm-hmm. like it can even boost that defense next year. Now of course they could have went quarterback, but I don't know if they pull that trigger at quarterback. Like, do they really want to take a quarterback at number 6? Mm-hmm. And I mean, the only quarterback on the board right now that people argue as number 6 is not Carson Strong. Kenny Pickett. And it's like, do we really want to take a quarterback at Kenny Pickett this year versus just wait another year, or maybe wait until like the second round, third round, and select another quarterback, or wait until next year and select a quarterback. But they do got Sam Darnold going to next year, so I don't know.
Right.
Sam Darnold sucks.
I like that. I like the pick, though. I like the idea of going best player available. The Giants are now on the clock. They picked a couple picks ago. My thought process at pick 5 was protect the quarterback. Now my thought process here is go get the quarterback. And I know on my draft board I have George Kalafdis ahead of Hutch. I know Brad is not going to like that, but with this pick, I'm taking George Karlaftis. How do you feel about that?
I like George Karlaftis. I watched him a lot at Purdue. It's weird because he rose in the draft stocks, dropped in draft stocks. Mm-hmm. He recently rised. I actually like him. I feel like he might be. He ain't got the highest potential out of any edge rusher, but I feel like he can have potentially the best year out of all the edge rushers in this year's draft.
All right. Moon's Atlanta Falcons are on the clock, and they need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They did just recently get Marcus Mariota. I don't believe he's their quarterback of the future, but he's definitely a bridge quarterback, or maybe even a short-term quarterback for the next few years. What do you feel like the Falcons' approach will be for this draft? Because last year, I don't feel like they took the best player available, no doubt.
Yes,
but
Kyle Pitts.
yeah, but it wasn't a position of need. How do you feel like their approach will be in this upcoming draft?
I think they approach the position in need this upcoming draft. I mean, I think it's like their biggest position in need right now. And after Calvin Ridley got suspended for a year, Julio Jones isn't there. Your best pass catcher is Kyle Pitts. You probably want to go wide receiver. I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson.
Woo! Hey, I like this pick. Why Garrett Wilson?
I feel like he's what the Falcons would like, a good route runner, good hands. He also has jump ball ability, fast, can get separation, good run blocker. To me, he's like a full package at wide receiver. And I believe Garrett Wilson just fits what they want to do. And going forward, I think he fits with Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts, of course.
Got you.
So.
I like the fit. I think a lot of times in the draft we think about, well, this player is ranked higher than that player. This player is better than this player. But Jalen said one pivotal thing: it's all about fits. That's all it's about in the NFL. I know Jalen is high on Garrett Wilson. I like Jahan Dotson. I also like the kid Burks from Arkansas. Drake London is the number one receiver on your draft board. You think we'll see him get selected soon, Jalen?
Yes. Also, I want to say this about Garrett Wilson. He played in a lot of play action, plays at Ohio State, and I believe Arthur Smith is going to run a lot of play action with Marcus Mariota.
He's still the best coordinator in the league. I shouldn't say the best, but one of the best coordinators in the league as far as calling plays. I just think he fits that system. All right, the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, and I think this is fairly easier than a lot of people think. I think they have to go corner here. Yes, quarterback is a need. I feel like you can get you a quarterback later on. You can also get you a cornerback later on. But I feel like Sauce Gardner is exactly what the Seattle Seahawks need. So I'm going to draft Sauce Gardner at number 9 for the Seahawks. Instant reaction, Jalen. I like that pick. And don't forget you got the challenge flag whenever you need it. Oh, no. See, I like that pick because Sauce Gardner is my favorite corner. I ain't going to say my favorite corner in the draft, but he's my number 1 corner in the draft. Okay. Who's up next? The Jets. You got the Jets, yeah. You had them at pick 4. At pick 4, you went a much needed player with Charles Cross from Mississippi State. 10. Who do Jets go? I think they go big target here and they go Drake London. Wow, they go USC again. They trust the butt fumble again. They go Drake London. I like that pick. If Elijah Moore last year. And they go Drake London this year. Drake London will open up the field a lot more for Elijah Moore to work. The shorter field this year. So I feel like that'd be a perfect fit for them. Alrighty, the Washington Commanders, also known as the Washington football team, used to be known as a team that I'm not saying. The position of need is a quarterback. They need interior offensive lineman, whether it's a guard and center, because they've been losing the free agency the last few years. With this pick, I got a couple of things in mind. We could go quarterback here. Yeah. But Derek Stingley is there. Also, Trent McDuffie is here. So with this pick, I think the Commanders, if Derek Stingley Jr. is still here at pick 11, that's a hell of a pick at pick 11. I can't believe Kyle Hamilton hasn't gone yet. But, yeah, I'm taking Derek Stingley this pick. That's the thought. How would you like to throw a challenge flag, sir? No. Okay. Derek Stingley, I think, can be a good player. He has concerns with the consistency, and kind of I guess consistency is like the big thing. Staying healthy is another big thing. But it's like, I guess when he's
when he's on the field and ready to go, I feel like he can be a really good corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I actually like that pick.
Alrighty, so you're on the clock with the Minnesota Vikings. They need a couple of things: interior linemen, which this draft definitely got some interior linemen. They need an edge rusher, and they also need a cornerback. So, what is your approach for the Minnesota Vikings here?
My approach kind of go best player available and to replace a player that's getting up there in age, and which is why I've done selecting Kyle Hamilton.
Ooh, I like that.
They need defense. The defense has regressed every year. Harrison Smith is getting older, and Kyle Hamilton can come in and be the person that kind of can. I don't want to say run the defense for them, but he can kind of be like that solid piece that comes in and and it really helps them next year.
The fact that a player that's number one on many draft boards, him and Hutch, tend to fight for that first and second spot, to get him at that 12th spot would be beautiful for the Minnesota Vikings. So now on the clock, we got another team in the Houston Texans. I believe I made their third pick. They still need every position. Now I'm kind of iffy on when to go here because Jordan Davis is a guy like I like a lot. Mm-hmm. He's best fit as a nose tackle. He's like that 0/1 technique. And he can play in either defense. So here it will kind of be a reach to get him here. You still got Trayvon, but I feel like they need interior linemen more than they need like an edge rusher. So I'm gonna go a little crazy here. Before I draft this pick, did you wanna throw the challenge flag? Cause I'm drafting Jordan Davis for the Houston Texans here.
Yeah, I want to throw in the challenge flag.
Okay, so Jalen is throwing in the challenge flag. He does not like the pick. So with the 13th pick for the NFL draft, Jalen, I want you to tell me who the Texans should draft and also why you threw the challenge flag.
I think the Texans draft Devin Lloyd.
Wow, talk to me about Devin Lloyd.
They have, he's a good run stopper. Pass coverage, he's been pretty well in pass coverage in college. And I know it's been like some concern for him in the NFL, but I think the Texans, their head coach is Lovie Smith. Their defense coordinator is Lovie Smith. He loves to run the cover too. And they needed linebacker help last year, so I really think, to me, they go linebacker and they draft Devin Lloyd, especially with other linebackers like Nakobe Dean being much smaller. I think Lovie Smith will want to go away from that, and he want a bigger linebacker.
I think what's interesting is that if you think about that Tampa 2, that cover 2, where that will linebacker takes that deep drop, like how Urlacher used to do it once upon a time. Lance Briggs could do it as well. And Derek Brooks, when he was in the Tampa 2 system, he didn't take as deep as a drop as Brian Urlacher. But Devin Lloyd is an every down linebacker. I think he's tall. He's got decent size. But I love that pick. I love the pick. It'll be interesting. I'm sure Lovie Smith will be happy to get somebody like Devin Lloyd if he can get him at that 13th pick. I believe that is a player that a lot of people will be watching. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if a team decided to try to trade up for Devin Lloyd. So now, Jalen, hell of a challenge there. I love the fit. The Ravens are on the clock at 14th, Jalen. They need defensive linemen, kind of interior. I'm not sure if they need an exterior edge rusher because of their system. Cornerback, do you feel like that's a major need for them? When you think about the injuries?
Injury bug got them last year. Got Marcus Peters. Got the other cornerback name. Why can't I think of him?
Lattimore.
Who? Marcus Peters. And
is Marcus Peters?
Who's the other cornerback?
I don't know why I said Lattimore. We're Lattimore. Humphrey.
Yeah, Marlon Humphrey. Yeah. Um, their cornerbacks got hurt a lot last year.
Mm.
But they're gonna be back this year. You also got Anthony Averett, who had a good season last year, if you ask me.
Mm.
Cornerback is a need for them, but also another need for them is protecting Lamar Jackson, who
Mm.
got hit a lot last year. You saw him get hurt near the end of the season last year, which you could say it kind of cost them a playoff spot because I mean Lamar Jackson don't get hurt, they might win the last couple games.
Yeah, they started off hot, and then he got hurt, and they lost so many games, and even still at the end of the season, they still had a chance to make the playoffs, which is miraculous.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
so I have them drafting Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa, tackle.
Alrighty, so I'm going to go down the first. The Eagles are on the clock. The first, what we got? What we at now? 14 picks. We got Kayvon Thibodeau at 1. We got Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty, at 2. Houston, Texas selected Kwanu from NC State. Charles Cross goes at 4 to the Jets. Evan Neal goes at 5 to the New York Football Giants. At number 6, the Panthers getting what many would think at this spot the best player available, and Aiden Hutchinson. At 7, George Karlaftis go to the New York Football Giants. At 8, Garrett Wilson, the first receiver taken off the board, not Drake London. At 9, Sauce Gardner goes to the Seattle Seahawks. 10, Jets get Drake London. At 11, the Washington Commanders get Derek Stingley. At 12, Kyle Hamilton goes to the Minnesota Vikings. 13, Devin Lloyd, that's a great pick, a challenge flag pick by Jalen, goes to the Texans. And Trevor Penning, I think I have him as my best run blocker in the draft. Let me look in the notes. But I'm pretty sure I have him as one of the best run blockers in the draft. The Philadelphia Eagles, damn. So we got linebacker and DB help. I feel like Nakobe Dean could possibly fit their system. So here I would definitely go Nakobe Dean. How do you feel about that pick?
I like Nakobe Dean. I know it's been like some concerns with his size because he's 5'11". I believe he's like 220 pounds. It kind of gets lost in the run blocking game, but I feel like he's the best coverage linebacker in the draft right now. So I like that pick.
Alrighty, the Saints are on the clock. What you thinking?
The Saints. Man. They could go quarterback, but I don't think they will because they got James Winston back. Offensive line, I mean, it says they need help. But to me, I think last year the number 1 wide receiver was who? Was it Traquan Smith or? For some reason, his name not coming to my mind right now. But they really need wide receiver help, especially with their number 1 wide receiver always, being injured. Michael Thomas. So I think they go Chris Olave.
Chris Olave with the Saints, I think that would be a hell of a fit. Damn, Chris Olave and Nola, that'd be beautiful. Him and Garrett Wilson will be playing each other twice a year. That'd be fantastic. So the Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock, and PFF has them down as wide receiver, tackle, 1 cornerback as positions of need. I actually would have liked to see Trevor Penning go here, to be honest with you, but you already took him. So because you vetoed my Jordan Davis pick, I'm taking Jordan Davis. All right, I'm taking Jordan Davis right now. I like I said, he's a nose tackle, 0 technique, 1 technique. I like Jordan Davis a lot. It's crazy how dominant that Georgia defense was last year, and we're going to see a lot of Georgia Bulldog players come off the board in this round. So, how you like that pick at 17 versus 13?
I think I actually like that pick. I mean, they need to help stopping the run, and of course, he can kind of take up the some space in the middle, being a bigger nose tackle. Now, of course, I think it's a little concern there with him, a little bit with his weight and with his snap count, because sometimes Georgia was able to play him all 3 downs. So, but I actually like that pick because I still think even with them getting Khalil Mack. They got J.C. Jackson. They got Asante Samuel Jr. But they still need another run stopper.
There we
So
go. Absolutely. I
I
agree with
think
that
Jordan Davis
100%.
is a good pick.
So the Eagles are on the clock. They also had the 15th pick. I went to Kobe Dean with the 15th pick. At 18. What is your mindset?
I think they got okay. So Devontae Smith last year, and they picked up Darius Slay from a trade a couple years ago. I believe they go wide receiver again, and they draft Jameson Williams.
So
Two Alabama wide receivers in 2 different years.
That's crazy. So yeah, wow. It would kind of be if one of Williams can get back healthy, kind of be like a no excuse type of year for Jalen Hurts if this was to happen, and I'm sure he will be elated. So the New Orleans Saints are on the clock. I think Jalen had their pick earlier. He went with Chris Olave. They just re-signed Jameis Williams. Jameis Winston. How long did they sign Jameis Winston for?
It might have been a 2-year deal, but I know for it was at least 1 year. But it might have been a 2-year deal.
Might have been a 2-year deal. You said for So here, I think I would like to go. They need to protect him. So we can go with Bernard Raymond from Central Michigan. I'm sure LL Cool Brad is somewhere excited about that pick. Alrighty, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. I don't even think Brad is in here at the moment. What's your thought process for the Steelers?
Okay, thought process is they got Levi Wallace in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think they still need a little bit of secondary help. They lost Big Ben, but they signed Mitchell Trubisky for a 2-year deal, and I don't think they're going to keep Mitchell Trubisky for 2 years. But the biggest problem is they have nobody to block for Najee Harris. They had nobody to protect Mitchell Trubisky, and they still need help on the offensive line. So I'm with the 20th pick. I'm selecting Tyler Linderbaum.
I mean, he wore black and yellow in college. Him wearing black and yellow in the pros would be beautiful. He's honestly ranked higher than a 20th pick, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So
yeah, he's a center. So
we're at the 21st pick. I'm gonna allow Jalen to make this pick since it's a New England Patriots pick. Jalen, why do you feel as though Trent McDuffie is still on the board up until this point? And do you think once the draft comes, there's a possibility that he can slide to the 20-somethings?
Yeah, I do think he can slide to 20-somethings. I just think it's teams that might value other positions more, and they want to help some other positions. Like I think the Eagles want to help Jalen Hurts by getting a wide receiver,
right?
Especially if they already went defense and with that pick before that you had. So I just think it's like some other teams want maybe more of a they might want to take your pick, but they also want to fit a position of need or a position to help another position. So.
Wow. So Patriots, what is your thought process here?
My thought process was, I mean, I've had the Patriots picking him for the last couple of drafts I've done off screen. To me, he's my favorite corner in the draft. And if you're looking for a cornerback that's probably the closest to what you lost in the offseason with J.C. Jackson, it's probably this guy, and that guy would be Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback out of Clemson.
Talk to me about Andrew Booth Jr.
He's a ball hawk. He has great instincts when it comes to zone coverage, in my opinion. Man coverage probably needs a little bit more help, but I think he saw enough of man coverage, especially with the Patriots moving to zone coverage this offseason. Or at least that's what all of the fans and me are speculating. We're moving to zone coverage. We've been man coverage heavy for the past couple of years. I think we got our safeties, down. Signed McCourty back. We signed Agent Phillips last year. Got Kyle Duggar. and I believe you want to choose another corner because I mean, wide receiver, yes, it's a position of need, but I think you can choose a second round wide receiver. When you lose a talent like J.C. Jackson, you need to kind of try to make up for that. So they go cornerback first round.
Wow, love the pick. So you got back-to-back picks here. Green Bay is on the clock. I don't think this would be too difficult of a pick. Where do you think Green Bay is going with this pick?
I mean, they pick every pick that doesn't help Aaron Rodgers. So I'm gonna pick a pick that doesn't help Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm just playing. I got them picking Treylon Burks.
Great pick. His stock has seemed to be very inconsistent over the past couple of weeks. I think some people are afraid of his 40 time. For everybody that's just into this offseason, I love when offseason helps a player. I think it's amazing. Like Malik Willis, his pro day truly helped him because I think consistent number one pick coming into this. Kenny Pickett was going to be the number one quarterback taken. I personally like Matt Corral more than I like any other quarterback just because what I've seen on the field. But Treylon Burks is a football player. That's all I want to say to anybody who's allowing a 40 time to affect what y'all think of this guy. But he's a football player at the end of the day. Jalen, talk to me about Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks, he has, to me, I think, 40 time doesn't say how fast he is. I think, when he gets to his top end speed, he's a really fast player. Mm-hmm. He can be a good deep threat, but I think he can work the short field too. We saw him do it with Arkansas because Arkansas offense was a lot of RPO heavy, quick pass type offense. Really good run blocker. I like to compare him to like Alshon Jeffrey. Like everybody got these AJ Browns, Debo Samuel comparisons. To me, he's like Alshon Jeffrey, decent route runner.
Wow.
We let him get a full head of steam. He's really fast. But he can make contested catches and work deep and short.
Hey Jalen, do me a favor, clap twice. That's the difference between a 4.3 and a 4.5 and a 40. Legitimately, like when you think about it that way, I think you guys will care a lot less. Alrighty, so the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. They need interior offensive linemen. They could also use a corner. We seen how the Rams kind of got after Kyler Murray in that postseason game. I believe they need to go lineman here. But, like, who do you take? Who are you comfortable with taking at the 23rd pick? With me, I'm going to go best player available. Trent McDuffie is still here somehow, miraculously. I'm going to take Trent McDuffie for the Arizona Cardinals. The Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock. Jalen, how you feel about the Trent McDuffie pick?
I like the Trent McDuffie pick. To me, I think they need to work in the secondary, especially at the cornerback position. Now I know some people might be saying, maybe wide receiver, maybe Jahan Dotson. But I think they can go corner. But they could also go wide receiver. To me, it's not a bad pick. It's a good pick. And I like Trent McDuffie. He can play man, he can play zone. But I really think he can fit right into the NFL right away.
America's team is on the clock. What's your thought process, Jalen?
America's team. They ain't my team. They need corner, of course. Their cornerbacks were not good last year. Trent McDuffie would have been a great pick for them. So I think they still go corner, and they go Kerry Lam from Florida.
I think we're going to see some movement at this pick, Jalen, and let me explain to you why. Both the Dallas Cowboys and Buffalo Bills can use corner help. Buffalo is set at safety with a Hyde and Poyer, but in my, like you say, off not live mock draft, I had Buffalo Bills taking a corner, and I thought Elam would be there, but he's not. So that makes things really interesting for the Buffalo Bills at this point. I'm not sure if Jalen Petrie is the guy that you want to take at this point. I don't know who Buffalo will go here. I truly don't. I'm almost wanting to rely on you to make this pick because I think I may make an emotional pick. I truly think I would make an emotional pick right now. So I'm gonna pass this pick to Jalen because I don't want to make an emotional pick.
Okay. Okay. I think you said, oh, he's a cornerback on PFF thing, but I still see him as a safety in the NFL, and he played more so safety in college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but he can play. He can play. He can come down and play some nickel. I had y'all drafting Daxton Hill.
You said Daxton Hill. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad at all. Like I said, I think I was about to make a an emotional pick. But yeah, I would definitely take that one in a heartbeat. So Steezy's Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Have you talked to Steez? What is Steez' thought process coming into the draft?
Well, he at first, it was a wide receiver. We need wide receiver because Julio Jones just didn't work out at all.
Right.
And well, they picked up Robert Woods in free agency. So, or I mean, I guess one free agency they traded for him, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a 7th round pick. It was a real like 7th round pick for Robert Woods. Sure, I'll take it. Or maybe it might have been a 6th round pick. Still, it was still a steal of a pick. But I believe to me, I still think they need guard play.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird saying that it's not basketball for me. But they still need offensive line, and I think they go Kenyon Green.
Alrighty, so far in the draft, we've kind of kept things as is. I'm gonna re-say some of the picks so far before we make the 27th selection for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kayvon Thibodeau at the number 1 pick. We had Malik Willis at 2, Aquanu at 3, Cross at 4. We had Evan Neal go 5 to the Giants. At 6, we had Aiden Hutchinson go to the Panthers. 7, George Karlaftis go to the New York Giants. At 8, we had Garrett Wilson. 9, we had Sauce Garner. At 10, we had Drake London. At 11, we had Derek Stingley Jr. At 12, we had Kyle Hamilton go to the Vikings. At 13, the Texans took Devin Lloyd. At 14, the Ravens took Trevor Penning. That's a hell of a pick. 15, the Eagles took Nakobe Dean. 16, the Saints got a superstar receiver in Chris Olave, who ran a much better 40 than I thought he would run. 17, the Chargers got Jordan Davis. 18, Jameson Williams went to the Eagles. Jesus Christ, that would be scary. 19, the Saints got Bernard Raymond from CMU. 20, I love the pick. Tyler Linderbaum goes to the Steelers. 21, Andrew Booth. Jalen is sold on Andrew Booth going to the Patriots. At 22, Treylon Burks from Arkansas gets Aaron Rodgers some help. At 23, Trent McDuffie. Couldn't believe he was still on the board. Goes to the Cardinals. And we starting to see a run on corners here. At 24, Kair Elam goes to the Cowboys. And at 25, Daxton Hill goes to the Buffalo Bills. 26, I think Jalen made a beautiful pick here. Kenyon Green going to the Texans. Now we with the Bucks. Alrighty, the Bucks. You think the Bucks would take best player available in this situation?
Maybe. I mean, what position do they like desperately need? I don't know.
They can use interior alignment. I think they can also use an edge rusher. So Trayvon Walker happens to be here still. And he's average in these drafts going at 9.4, 14th ranked player on PFF draft board. Where did you have him on your draft board? You remember? I have it up, but I will mess up the stream by grabbing it.
I believe I had him somewhere around like it was like between 19 and 24.
Okay, so I'm gonna take him now. Then I'm gonna also edit this. Alrighty, so you got the next pick, 28. The Packers are on the clock again.
Okay, so who did I have them picking before? Um, Traylon Burks, correct?
Yeah, you had them getting Traylon Burks at the 22nd pick.
To me, they lost Zadarius Smith. They still got Preston
Yes.
Smith.
Yep.
Uh, I think they go edge rusher. They go Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson. I think this is a great spot to get him if Green Bay can get him in this spot. Alrighty, so on the clock now, the Kansas City Chiefs. They got this pick from San Fran. They just traded Tyreek Hill. What was Sky Moore's 40 time again? I think I had that written down somewhere.
You said what?
What was Sky Moore's 40 time again? I got it written down. Give me a second.
I don't know.
Okay, Sky Moore ran a 4.41. Jalen, follow me. I think with this pick, Chiefs go Jahan Dotson. Follow me. That's a reach. You can certainly get him in the second round. But follow me. Now, Jahan Dotson does not have Tyreek Hill speed, but he's a pretty decent route runner. He has excellent hands. They still got the kid Miko Harmon, who does have Tyreek Hill straight line speed. He can't go side to side like him, but he does have straight line speed, and I feel like they can get him more involved in the passing game. So I'm going Jahan Dotson. This is a super duper reach. Jalen, how do you feel about this?
You think that's a reach? I think later first round. I think that's a perfect place for him to go.
Really?
I mean, I think he could certainly go maybe a little bit earlier, depending on how GMs view him. But I think that's a perfect place for him to go. I don't think that's a reach at all.
Gotcha. Chiefs got back-to-back picks. What do you feel like they go here?
I feel like it's a much needed position, and I think they go. I think they go David Ojabo. Even though he tore his Achilles, I still think they pick him just for future. Like, yeah, he might not play the full season his rookie year, but future-wise, he still will be a good edge rusher.
Alrighty. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals trade out of this pick. I truly do. We tend to see people trade out of these picks. Like people who have earlier picks in the second round and have a little bit more capital, will trade up for this pick. So I can definitely foresee a team like the New York Giants can move up and take this pick. The Bengals need probably more picks than anything. The Bengals don't have a lot of picks in this draft. So they can use more picks. So I can definitely foresee them trading out. Let me see if I can finagle this trade system. All right, so I'm gonna trade with the Giants. What else you think I would have to give up?
I think the Giants would give up like maybe their second round pick, and maybe like a late 7th round pick.
So like a late 7th round pick, and then I of course they're probably throwing like a next year 4, something like that.
Maybe
to move up in the first round. All right, so let's offer this trade. Oh, I don't think I ever picked the thing. All right, so the trade got accepted. The New York Giants are on the clock. So now the Giants are making their 3rd pick in the first round. They got Evan Neal. They got George Karlaftis. So if the Giants trade up in this scenario, Jalen, I'm gonna let you have this pick. What do you feel like what would be the reason that they traded up for?
I think they trade up to get another defensive player.
You think you get another defensive player?
Yes.
So, who do you feel like they will go with?
So I'm making a pick.
Yeah. I'll give you the pick because I feel like Cincinnati would definitely like give up that pick just so they can have more picks later on. I can definitely see them trading out of the first round completely.
To me, I think they pick up a corner that's flying under the radar, but still on the radar, and they're picking up a corner that's I think is probably the best corner out of the corners that's left, and that is Marcus Jones from Houston.
Did you see if I passed him?
You might just search up his name in the search bar, or you might go to corner. He's like the fourth corner left.
Okay. Alrighty, so the Giants move up. They get the corner they want, and with the last pick of the first round, the Lions, who earlier in the draft got Malik Willis. Typically, teams go get a quarterback and they go get somebody to protect them. But yeah, they did pick up Steve's boy from Oregon last year.
Sewell.
Penei Sewell. So who do you feel like the Lions will go here?
This might be a shocker, but it's the end of the first round. He's been projected like a second round pick at this point. But it's the end of the first round. I got them picking George Pickens, wide receiver, Georgia.
Wow. What you like about George Pickens?
I feel like he's an underrated route runner. I think some people sleep on his route running. He's fast, of course. Has good hands. I believe he had like a 2.7 drop percentage, was like the best out of all the draft wide receivers right now. I really think his ACL might scare some people away, but I think with the Lions, they're still a rebuilding team. And I think you get help. You help out Malik Willis and Amon-Ra St. Brown by getting another wide receiver.
So I'm going to recap picks 1 through 32, and then you can talk about some of the biggest surprises in this draft. With the first pick in the draft, the Jaguars selected Kayvon Thibodeau. The second pick, the Lions selected Malik Willis. Houston took Kwanu from NC State with the third pick. With the fourth pick, Charles Cross from Mississippi State got drafted. With the fifth pick, Evan Neal went to the New York Giants. With the sixth pick, Aiden Hutchinson went to the Panthers. We good, Jalen?
Yeah.
With the, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo.
I hear you.
Yeah, you said you can hear me, my bad. I don't remember what I stopped at with the I think it was the seventh pick. The Giants selected George Karlaftis with the 8th pick. Falcons take Garrett Wilson with the 9th pick. Seahawks take Ahmad Garner with the 10th pick. Jets take Drake London with the 11th pick. Washington Commanders take Derek Stingley Jr. with the 12th pick. The Minnesota Vikings select Cal Hamilton with the 13th pick. The Texans select Devin Lloyd with the 14th pick. The Ravens went with Trevor Penning with the 15th pick. Nakobe Dean goes to the Eagles. 16th pick, the New Orleans Saints selected Chris Olave. With the 17th pick, the Chargers selected Jordan Davis. With the 18th pick, the Eagles selected Jameson Williams. With the 19th pick, the Saints selected Bernard Raymond. With the 20th pick, the Steelers selected Tyler Linderbaum. With the 21st pick, the Patriots, appreciate it, bro. With the 21st pick, the Patriots selected Andrew Booth Jr. With the 22nd pick, Green Bay selected Treylon Burks. With the 23rd pick, Trent McDuffie went to the Cardinals. 24th, Jalen selected my boy Kyle Elam from Florida. I was hoping he went to Buffalo. With the 25th pick, so I didn't make an emotional pick, Jalen took Daxton Hill from Michigan. With the 26th pick, Steezy's Titans took Kenyon Green. With the 27th pick, the Bucks got Trayvon Walker. With the 28th pick, Jermaine Johnson, edge rusher from Florida State. About a few bright spots on Florida State. Went to the Packers. At 29th, the Chiefs took Jahan Dotson I believe that's a reach, but I believe if they can get them, Pat Mahomes would be a happy camper. With the 30th pick, the Chiefs selected David Hobo from Michigan. 31st pick, we had the New York Giants moving up in the draft, trading with the Cincinnati Bengals. They selected Marcus Jones with the 32nd pick. George Pickens from Georgia went there.
Hey Mo, how do you feel about Garrett Wilson going to the Falcons? A pick I'm skeptical that I'm like that I don't really like in this mock draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about
probably a pick I don't like is offensive tackle CMU.
Okay, Bernard Raymond going to the Saints.
Yeah.
What's your thought process?
I mean, I think you get some offensive linemen, but I still think like, is he worth picking in the first round? I don't know, but they do have 2 first-round picks, so it's like it isn't their only one.
They damn sure was that team the first round last year who took a pick and all of us were just like,
the guy out of like Houston or whatever. But
I feel like if you take Raymond, you taking potential and athleticism over anything. If you're taking him, he's a former tight end. Jason Peters played with Buffalo and played with the Eagles, also former tight end. So when you're making that transition, you know that you're taking the potential over anything. But I can definitely see where you would feel like he could go lower in the draft. I have him as far as tackles. I did interior lineman. I did like kind of your tackles. I have him as the 5th best tackle in this draft behind Penning, Cross, Neal, and Aquanu. But do you like Abraham Lucas? Do you like Darian Kennard better? Like, who do you feel like would have been a better fit if they went offensive lineman?
I mean, I don't know if there's a better fit. It's just like at that pick value, do I really want to select him? So, but I did pick George Pickens with the 32nd pick. So.
Got you. What player do you feel like that we drafted? I know Moon mentioned that he's surprised that Kyle Hamilton went 12th. What player you feel like we drafted will probably be drafted a lot sooner than what we drafted him?
Kyle Hamilton, of course. To me, I think it's Kyle Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think safeties are a different value in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost chose him for the Falcons, but I was like, if Calvin really wants to spend out, he to me he would have been Falcons pick. So,
right.
But I don't think it's like was any other team in the first round that like was in desperate need for a safety besides the Texans. And I don't know if the Texans take him at number 3.
Right. Now, Malik Willis, do you really feel like he could go at 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's beginning number 2 hype.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like if I'm the Lions, I'm like, okay, the most potential, like Kenny Pickett or Sam Howell might be the most ready quarterbacks from day one, but I think they want to go potential and ceiling, so I think they go the Lions. I mean, I
know what you meant. We all know what you meant.
They go Malik.
Yeah, I like Malik Willis a lot. He certainly helped himself a lot with that pro day. One of the better orchestrated pro days that we've seen as of recent. So which player on the draft board right now, I could probably see 2 or 3 of these players getting drafted instead of a few other players. Which player do you see that's still available that didn't get drafted in our mock draft but will probably get drafted come April 28th?
Boye Mafe out of Minnesota. And Sky Moore.
Real deal. So you truly feel like Devontae Wyatt could drop?
Wait, he's on the board. Okay. I forgot he was even right there. I mean, I feel like he could drop, but I don't know if he's definitely an early second round pick if he does drop.
For sure. So any last minute words you want to say in closing, Jalen? Also, shout out to everybody who was here for the live version. We're actually going to take the live version down and do an uploaded version. Also cut some of this up to shorts I could definitely see us doing like a 32 picks in 60 seconds. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, go ahead, Jalen.
Yeah, shout out to Moon. He said Daxton Hill. I believe he said he'll be drafted higher. So I mean, I think like to me, Daxton Hill low key might be. You could argue here he can be I mean, I don't think it's an argument, but to me, I wouldn't mind if somebody made the case for him to be the best safety in the draft.
Alrighty, so that does it for this.
I wouldn't be mad if somebody made that argument.
Gotcha.
Moon said, where did Trayvon Walker go? Where did Trayvon Walker go?
Trayvon Walker went.
He went in the 20s, didn't
he? It was the 20s. Let me see. Damn, he went 27th, bro. I'm not sure if that's happening in real life. He went 27th though.
Hey, some people drop, some people don't.
Right. And this draft class is just so top heavy. We definitely gonna see somebody fall, and they gonna be in a green room, and they gonna get that Aaron Rodgers treatment, like they just keep showing his face, or that Brady Quinn treatment, and this is gonna be annoying.
Yeah, or Lamar Jackson, how they kept showing Lamar Jackson's face in the green room.
I end up going home. I wouldn't even be in the green room. But yeah, shout out to everyone who made it here for this live stream event. We definitely had a lot of fun. Make sure that you all here. You're going to see a lot of teasers, a lot of promotion for the actual draft coverage that we're going to do on April 28th. Me and Jalen trying to figure out if we want to do a second day, but I know all of us are on board. And y'all haven't seen all of us in a while together. So we will definitely be here April 28th. Like I said, this video is going to disappear for a second. I'm going to upload like I said, upload it, and it'll be a much needed video. Jalen, any final thoughts?
On this mock draft, no. But check us out on the 20th, I believe, is when the NFL draft is. Correct?
It's the 28th, right?
Okay, 28th.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's the 28th.
But yeah, check us out. During that day, we should be live streaming round one. If we all, me, L, Cool Brad, Mo Vibes, and KT and Steezy, who is in the chat or isn't here right now. He'll also be live giving his opinions too. So yeah, come check us out on the first draft day.
Yes, sir. For the good folks at Real Ones Productions, for Jalen Wilson, for myself, Leverett KT, man, it's been absolutely amazing. If y'all want to use this draft editor right now, this is PFF editor. It's completely free. There's another one that Jalen and I utilize as well. What was the name of that one?
The Draft Net it's the Draft Network or
the Draft Network.
Draft Network.
Yeah, you can check them out too. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Also check out our website at realonesproductions.com. Those are our socials. I forgot to put the Real Ones Recruits, but if you don't know what Real Ones Recruits is, you're in for a real treat. Make sure y'all check that out on Instagram as well. We out here.